There are two kinds of people in the world. There are those who write lists and those who don't. I'm one of the ones who don't. I have tried getting things done. I've tried to write out to-do lists, and it hasn't worked for me. So when a friend of mine, who I regard as a productivity expert, unlike me, when he recommended that I read the Checklist Manifesto, I was quite skeptical. I was expecting it to be a very prescriptive book on how to write out all of these lists, all of these checklists and to-do lists and so on. Of course, it does show you how to write out a checklist, but what the most important thing is in the book is it shows you why. In the world today, everything is just so complex, and so we need to break things down. So if you are in a hospital, if you're the head surgeon and things get complicated, well, the temptation would be just to leave it up to the head surgeon and just to decide to direct all traffic. But even with all of the equipment in there, the number of people inside a complex operation and so on, it is so easy, especially when people are tired, when it's a new team, it is so easy for things to slip through the cracks. And so enter the idea of the checklist. The book itself is written in a very, it's a great storyteller and very humble too. Atul Gawande visits a building site, visits airplanes and finds out what their procedures are, the airlines, and finds out what their procedures are for safety and using checklists. He tells some great stories and true stories from real live events. I would warn you that if you are a person of a squeamish character, squeamish nature, if you find it hard to read about medical operations and so on, then this may not be the book for you. But apart from that, it is a great read, and it really did change me. That was the thing. It changed me, who is not a checklist person, and I realized that a checklist is nothing to do with a to-do list. A checklist is a set of very simple procedures that anybody can follow, and they're so easy to create and so necessary too, especially if you are in complex situations. In fact, I, as a solopreneur, use checklists now. I could probably lift my game there, but as a result of reading this book, The Checklist Manifesto, it will convince you just how grateful you are that there are the people who are building shopping centers, or that people who are in hospitals or doing operations, or any complex, the world is so complex these days. You will be so grateful that they do follow checklists. So I would really recommend this book, as long as you're not too squeamish.